North Dakota, and you can stop by at 3101 39th Street South, Suite E, in Fargo, North Dakota, and visit with them and try out their meads. I would be anxious to try that Star Anise, 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 however you want to call it, I guess. But I remember, this takes me back to even the strawberry rhubarb thing we were talking about last week. My God, I haven't had a strawberry rhubarb pie in ages.
Yeah.
And my grandmother, bless her heart, she's long since gone, but my God, the anise cookies that she used to make were just awesome. So I can't, that's another one that's going on my list, Fargo, North Dakota. So, but, wow, here again, we could have talked to her for another hour.
Yeah.
What an amazing person. Especially, the microbiology part. I'm almost thinking about going back to school and taking a science class or something,
Well, or you could, go up to UC Davis. They actually are having this fall, they're going to have a Mead 101 class. And it's basically like a best practices for mead. Cool. And it's really awesome. And if you go to the Got Mead Facebook page, I think it's the second post down, is a link to the class. And they did this last year, and it was completely full. They've actually still got a few spots left for anybody who might be interested in going. But it's an amazing, amazing class taught by some of the biggest people in fermentation anywhere. This is like the holy grail of American winemaking. This is UC Davis Robert Mondavi Institute School of Winemaking.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it's pretty darn cool. And, if anybody wants to get a really, really good grounding, that's where I'd go.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's really not that far from me. I could go up there and, just stay in a hotel. And, I would love to get involved at that level and, really learn more about, this whole winemaking experience, and more specifically the mead, of course. But what an awesome experience. But again, thanks to Susan Rood from Prairie Rose Meadery for calling in. We are going to step away, take a break. When we come back, Ask Oscar, your favorite segment. So sit tight, don't wander off. Besides being the county seat of Cass County, it's also the home of Prairie Rose Meadery, the only meadery in North Dakota. Owned and operated by Susan and Bob Rood, they produce 5 amazing meads with a 6th on the way, all available in their tasting room. From bees to bottles, the Prairie Rose Tasting Room is located at 3101 39th Street South, Suite E in Fargo, North Dakota, and features their award-winning traditional and blackberry meads. Other amazing flavors available include ginger, mint, cherry, and an upcoming Star Anise mead. Tasting room hours are Thursday through Friday, 5 to 10 p.m., Saturday from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sunday from noon to 6 p.m. Make Prairie Rose Meadery a must-do when you're in Fargo, North Dakota. Visit them online at prairierosemeadery.com or stop by at 3101 39th Street South, Suite E in Fargo, North Dakota. Prairie Rose Meadery, a delightful mead experience. If you're a mead maker, you need gotmead.com. It is the absolute best and most complete resource for mead making you will ever need. The forum consists of recipes, discussion on equipment, techniques, and methods, complete with its own batch calculator. Gotmead.com offers everything you need to start making mead today. And for just $25 a year, as a patron member, you'll have access to proven award-winning recipes, fermentation management, equipment discussion, and a whole lot more. Gotmead.com. Sign up today. Growing up in a culture where home winemaking was a way of life, Sergio Mutella naturally began making wine himself as an adult, finding his way into brewing beer and eventually his discovery of mead. Earning numerous mead-making awards, Melovino opens its doors, becoming the first meadery in the Garden State. Featuring 20 different craft meads with amazing variety, Melovino is the fastest-growing meadery in the country. Melovino offers tastings and tours every weekend, and all of their meads are available online, shipping to 22 states across the country. Go to melovino.com and book your tour and tasting today. Located at 2933 Vauxhall Road near the rear of the Millburn Mall in Vauxhall, New Jersey. melovino.com. And here we are back, Got Mead live on a Tuesday night. It was a lot of fun having Susan Rude talk to us about her meadery up in Fargo, North Dakota, Prairie Rose Meadery. And I'll bet you two didn't know that the Prairie Rose is actually the state flower for North Dakota, did you?
Yep, I knew.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
We do have a caller on the line, 5038. What's your name? Tell us where you're from and what's your question or comment?
Hey, this is Tyson from Virginia. I'm one of the two mead makers.
You are.
Tyson. Well, are we going to be having a party with you guys next week?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what it was like to be on live radio this week and get ready for next week.
You are absolutely live tonight, and glad to have you aboard. I'm really looking forward to next week's show, guys.
So how many meads are we going to drink?
Whatever you happen to have in front of you.
How many do you have? Yeah.
I got a collection now. I'm getting close to Vicky. I mean, well, difference of magnitude of 10 here, but I got like 30 or 40 meads to choose from.
30 or 40 meads to choose from?
Is that all?
Yeah. I'm buying them as fast as my wife lets me spend the money.
Tyson, I don't know if you caught the last show or not, but, these two, Vicky and AJ, I don't know if they felt sorry for me or what, but I just recently found what I called the motherlode of. I have been on a mead hunt for months, and I finally found the motherlode here in Sherman Oaks. So I'm really digging this whole mead thing now that I've actually had, a real bona fide mead. We got another caller on the line, also 2631. Who are you? Where are you from? And say howdy.
Hey, JD, it's Alan. The other part. Tyson lost me trying to three-way in. Yeah, we were sitting here trying to coordinate to call in, and apparently he kicked me off. I don't know what's going on here.
Hogging the glory for me.
So are we starting this party tonight, guys?
It sounds like it, yeah.
We're getting a preview anyway.
We're getting a preview, yeah. I don't have any mead with me tonight, so we'll be sure to pour a lot next week.
AJ and Vicky, I don't know if you guys have caught their shows or not, but I've listened to...
I've been on their show, JD.
Well, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you were on their show.
I was on their show. Yeah, we had fun.
Yeah, I listened to that whole
Episode
show.
6 and 7.
And,
Yep.
I went back...
I'm going to have to look those up. Something to do while I'm pressing apples.
Oh, yeah, you got to, AJ. And these guys are fantastic. And I've listened to their shows, and awesome, guys. Totally awesome. So I'm really looking forward to next week.
Yeah, it should be a great time.
Yeah, it should be. I'm looking forward to it.
Do either one of you guys make mead?
Of course.
We both do.
What's your favorite?
Is there a favorite? There's too many options.
Options.
I go for spicy.
I'm gonna throw that out.
No.
Go ahead. Tyson, what do you mean?
I go for spiced meads. Anything that's got a lot of different spices, I like. The star anise that you guys talked about before, I think I threw that into like my first batch of mead just because I had some really nice star-shaped ones and I wanted that in there.
Awesome. And
I guess if I have to choose, I'd probably say I'm actually a fan of the low alcohol session meads that are carbonated, going that route, coming more from a beer drinking side than a wine drinking side, but I like it all.
Without giving away next week's show, are both of you coming from beer brewing into mead, or had you been doing mead ever since?
Mead exclusively. I drink a lot of beer. I don't actually make beer.
Cool.
Yeah.
You drink beer. Yeah, you're like me. I drink beer, but I make mead. I don't make beer. And I'll tell you, the reason why I made mead, because I just discovered this thing last January, and I thought, what is this stuff? And it was, everything you read on the internet made it look so simple. I mean, I can do this at home, no problem. Beer, on the other hand, I love my craft beer, and there's such a variety out there. I didn't need to be making it at home. So, looking forward to having you guys on the show next week. We've got another segment coming up here just shortly that we've got to get to. And Ask Oscar. So if you're tuning in, listen live here. Oscar is going to be talking about honey aromas and, training your palate and just all kinds of good stuff. So, but appreciate the call, guys. Looking forward to next week.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'll be listening with my honey wheel for that next section.
There you go.
Very good. All right, guys. Thanks a million, and we'll see you next week.
Alrighty. Bye.
See ya.
Bye,
All
guys.
right. I'm really looking forward to that show next week. That ought to be a lot of fun. So
No kidding.
yeah. But anyway, this segment coming up, Ask Oscar. It's kind of, these sessions with Oscar are getting kind of lengthy. And I guess it's probably the standard format now. They're about 46, 47 minutes long. But what wonderful information. I spent the day with him in the studio. Vicky was out of town. And so it's me and Pete, Oscar, going over a couple of questions submitted. I believe one was Bernard Smith submitted a question, and then another respondent was Mead, I think, was the other person. The first one, he's talking about honey aromas and smells and tastes, and really training your palate, learning how to take accurate notes. When you're smelling honey and really trying to be accurate, that so that you can pair it up with whatever you're going to do with it, whether it's a spice or a fruit or whatever. So. And again, Vicky, this is something new to me too. I mean, I didn't know how important it was to be able to really smell your honey and really get to know it.
Yeah, it really is. If you know your honey, you're going to have a better idea of what you're going to end up with. And that's the thing. It's a lot of people don't realize that, or maybe they just don't think about it. I don't know. I guess maybe I didn't when I first started out. I was just getting, any old honey, but there's such a huge difference.
Yeah.
Depending on what you're doing. And it doesn't mean that it's necessarily good versus bad honey. It could be just putting the wrong honey in in a particular recipe. So you bury it, or you lose you lose what makes it great because you're putting other things in there.
Yeah.
Clutters
All right.
up the taste or whatever.
It does.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's roll Ask Oscar and see what he says about honey aromas. I'm sure by now, if you haven't heard that intro, you ought to know it by now. This is the Ask Oscar segment. JD in the house with Pete, with Oscar today. Vicky is, I believe she's out of town, somewhere in Boston. So
working on her accent today.
Yeah. So it's going to be Oscar and JD today. So. And we've got several questions we want to work through several people have submitted questions that we want to work through here. So let's just dig right in, Pete. What do you think?
I think so. Let's jump to it.
Beardsmith. I don't know why I'm calling him that. Bernard Smith. He's asking today. He's got a couple of questions here, but the first one up. He's asking about proven methods for developing an ability to identify the flavors and aromas in meads and wines. And actually, that's something that I could stand to learn too. So I am prepared with paper and pencil. Let's talk about that for a minute. What about how do you develop the ability to identify the flavors and aromas?
Well, I think to me, the ability to identify flavors, identify aromas, and articulate them comes from observation. And observation seems counterintuitive because you don't taste with your eyes or or smell with your eyes. You taste with your, your mouth and tongue, and you smell with your nose. But remember, your nose is 70% of the flavor that you're going to be tasting in